Before there were epic storylines, branching quests, and deep character development, video games had one goal and one goal alone: get the biggest number. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 high-score-based video games. For this list, we've picked the 10 best games where your main objective is to rack up the highest score humanly possible. Number 10, Fruit Ninja. Fruit Ninja is deceptively simple, but isn't that what makes mobile games so much fun? Armed with a razor-sharp katana, also known as your finger, the player is tasked with chopping and slicing as much fruit as possible in the allotted time. Because if there's one thing that any ninja worth their salt hates, it's apples, kiwis, watermelons, and pineapples. Score multiplying combos can be achieved by swiping multiple fruits at once, but avoid those bombs because they'll end your turn. Fruit Ninja is addictive yet simple, the perfect example of a fun mobile distraction. Number 9, Dance Dance Revolution series. Dance Dance Revolution is one of the most iconic modern arcade franchises. And for the longest time, you couldn't head to an arcade without seeing some dude sweating buckets, frantically pounding his feet trying to achieve the perfect score. The gameplay is pretty simple. Arrows move their way to the top of the screen in sync with crazy techno music, and you have to step on the corresponding dance pad in time. DDR went on to influence games like Just Dance and Guitar Hero, basically single-handedly popularizing the concept of rhythm-based music games.
This groove is all mine.
Number 8, Geometry Wars series. What started out as a simple Easter egg in Project Gotham Racing 2 soon became an indie phenomenon. The Geometry Wars franchise took the classic formula seen in games like Asteroids and made it hip again. By combining twitchy arcade shooting with modernized graphics, Geometry Wars managed to capture all the elements that had kids dumping quarter after quarter into arcade machines in the 80s. The premise is deceptively simple. Navigate your ship across a square grid while blasting alien ships and racking up points. But there's something that's oh so satisfying about weaving through those clouds of enemies. Hell, they called it Geometry Wars Retro Evolved for a reason. Number 7, Galaga. There's a reason why Galaga can still be found in many arcades around the world, and why it's been ported to just about every console imaginable. It's probably one of the most fun old-school score attack shooting games ever created. Galaga took the formula popularized by Space Invaders and improved on it with enemy AI, graphics, gameplay, and sound that was way ahead of its time. Galaga manages the impressive feat of still holding up as a fun and challenging score attack game decades after its release. Number 6, Temple Run series. There are hundreds of endless runner games on mobile devices, but none captured the adoration of both casual and hardcore gamers like Temple Run. For months, you couldn't enter a subway or bus without seeing someone frantically swiping their smartphone, trying to collect coins and jump over pits. The combination of insanely fast gameplay, challenging platforming, and ridiculously addictive score multiplying made Temple Run a huge hit. Also, who didn't spend hour after hour collecting coins to try and unlock that football player? Number 5, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is often remembered as the game that introduced the world to two of Nintendo's most iconic characters, Mario and Donkey Kong. Yes, Donkey Kong is one of the most important historical documents in gaming, but it also stands out as one of the best and most addictive arcade games ever created.
That ape is very, very cunning, and he will do what he needs to stop you.
It's very difficult to get Jumpman past the constant barrage of barrels and flames, but it's oh so satisfying to reach the top of the stage and give that giant monkey his comeuppance.
There's nothing stronger than having it be done in front of a crowd. The process stands for itself. He did it in front of all of us. But this solves any kind of doubt that there could ever been.
Number 4, Guitar Hero series. Rock Band may have taken the formula established by Guitar Hero, added more instruments, and turned a kick-ass guitar solo into an epic 4-person jam fest, but the Guitar Hero franchise is the more significant series because it was the pioneer of the plastic axe. Combining an amazing set list with addictive score-based gameplay, a badass guitar peripheral, fun storyline, and cool graphics, Guitar Hero was a must-own when it was released. Number 3. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Sure, the original was plenty of fun, but nobody was quite ready for the megaton bomb that was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Neversoft found the perfect storm of gameplay, attitude, graphics, soundtrack, level design, really everything, and created a near-perfect game. One of the major additions was the ability to manual, allowing players to put together almost endless strings of tricks. Suddenly, beating all of those missions took a backseat to finally hitting that perfect combo and beating your best friend's top score. Number 2. Miss PacMan. PacMan is the most famous arcade game ever created, but its sequel, Miss PacMan, basically improved on the original in every way. Whereas the original Pac-Man only had one map, Miss Pac-Man has several. That, combined with some basic story screens and a small ribbon on Miss Pac-Man's head, are basically the only improvements, but they were enough. Escaping those ghosts while eating pellets and navigating the maze-like map is so simple, yet is there anything more satisfying than grabbing a power pellet and gobbling down all of the ghosts in one shot? Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1. Tetris. What started out as a pet project for Soviet programmer Alexei Pachinov became one of the most beloved video games ever, and it mostly started when Nintendo ported Tetris to the original Game Boy. Who could predict that the perfectly addictive design of Tetris would go together with portable gaming like peanut butter and jelly? Tetris ultimately founded the puzzle game genre, and it's still amazingly satisfying to rack up a high score by erasing line after line of squares with a perfectly placed block. Just watch out for those damn zigzag pieces. Do you agree with our list? Did we forget any legendary high score based video games? For more high score and top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.